just getting the Mustang back from its MOT, which it promptly failed. So having fixed the overheating issue, there's now a few more issues that it did actually fail the MOT on this time. Here's a look at what they are. I've already started on one of them, but here's a look at what they are. So the first one was this number plate light or license plate light wasn't actually illuminating. That one was working, but this one wasn't. When I took it all apart, this is what the bulb looked like. So the bulb was obviously blown on that at some point. So hopefully, if I turn the lights on, that's going to light up this time. And as you can see, with the lights on, they're now both lit up. So I'll just get those turned off, and then we'll put all this bit back together. Now if you've got one of these, the way to take this apart, so you can get that bulb out, on here, if you can see I can see if I can shade that so you can see it better, there's a screw there, and there's a screw there. They both hold the unit in. And once you take those screws out, this is the lamp unit. As you can see, it's the same as that one. Now, this, you can try and pull it out. What I found worked was actually putting my fingers through on the inside and pushing it out. As you put your finger through on the inside, hopefully you can see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see my finger moving around in there. So you can actually get your finger through from the inside, push this out from the back, and then this housing that that bulb sits in, that just twists and pulls out there. You can see it's got the 4 tabs on, so you just need to twist that, pull it out of there, then you can take the bulb out, put the new one in. Now, it was a little more awkward on mine, because where you see this clamp here, and that one along that side, the previous one has actually fitted this, which is an LED reversing light, and that was screwed into there. So effectively, when this was in place, it was actually blocking the edge, as you can see there, just blocks the edge of the lights. So I'd take that out in order to get those out, but that's that one done. And as you can see now, it's all back together. That one's lit up, that one's still lit up. So we're okay with that. So that's all back together. So we've got license plate light on that side, license plate light on that side, and the LED reverse light is wired back in. Now that itself is just an aftermarket thing. It's held in with these 2 Allen head screws on each side. Now they came out easy enough just to move that out of the way and get those out. And they both look as though they're shining about the same brightness, which is perfect. And that's the number plate light replaced, so at least that's working now. Now the next problem is the fog light. Now on this Mustang, it didn't come from the factory with a fog light on it because it's an American car. Over here, it needs a fog light, so it's got this aftermarket thing showing underneath the bumper, or bolted in, screwed in underneath the bumper. At the moment, that's not working. And that was exactly when the previous owner of the Mustang turned up to give me something he'd forgotten to give me when I went down to pick the car up. And that was this, an owner's manual in a case, well, in a folder. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but it's actually got embossed on there Ford and then Mustang across the bottom. It's a nice dainty little size thing, and it's full of goodies that I've never seen before. Now, it's not very often when you buy a car, a second-hand car especially, and one that's been through numerous owners previously, that you get a whole selection of goodies like this in with the owner's manual. Now, I've actually got the owner's manual for a 1994 Mustang. Got a little booklet on the operating guide of the electronic sound system. There's also how to maintain the beauty of your new vehicle. I think it's been a while since anybody used that with it. A 94 Mustang maintenance schedule, and a record as well. And then a thing called Tell Your Technician Your Report from the Driver's Seat. So I'm guessing that you would fill this in with any issues you had while you were using the car, and then when you went back to get it serviced, you could tell the technicians in the service centre whatever the problem was with the car. Now, by the looks of this, it's never been filled in, which is a shame really, because it's all blank inside. There's nothing being written into it. It would have been nice to have some details in there from the original owner over in the States, but that's not meant to be. And the final booklet in there is the warranty information booklet on 1994 model Ford Mercury cars and light trucks. That might improve some interesting reading for later on. Anyway, As the new owner turned up, obviously, as you can appreciate, he didn't want to be on camera, which isn't a problem. Not everybody wants to be on camera. But as he was here, and like most people when they turn up to see one of their old cars or when they're just getting a car, he couldn't resist getting involved and giving us a hand while fiddling about with it. So he gave us a hand with the fog light, which saved me an immense amount of work in trying to decipher where the problem was. And he also helped us out with the incident, the problem with the indicators as well. Well, not the indicators, the hazard lights, because the hazard light is another problem we've got with the car. But we'll jump back into the video and you can see exactly what we found out whilst the previous owner was here. So whilst he was here, we got talking. He had a quick look at it, and it turned out to be a faulty connection or a loose connection under this switch. This switch just here. Now that had a faulty connection underneath it. So we just reattached, took it off, cleaned up a little bit, reattached it, and now when you turn that on, the fog light comes on at the back of the car. Now as I flick this switch, you'll see the fog light come on at the back of the car. So that's working, that's all done. And that's 2 of the 5 things that I need to fix on the car in order to get it through its MOT. The next one is a little bit more difficult and a little bit more involved. So I'll show you what that one is. There's a problem with the hazard lights. They're working, but this is what they look like when they're working. Now hopefully you can see on camera that hazard light is sort of flashing. It's more like a strobe than a hazard light though. And the one on the other side is exactly the same, if you can see that. Now that appears to have been a bit of a problem for the MOT inspector, because he said that they were either flashing slow or dim. He thought it might be an earth, but when you put the indicators on, this is what they look like. Now the weird thing is, when the indicator's working, it works perfectly. The hazard lights should be the same, but they're not. And as well as that, when you put the hazard lights on, you may be able to hear the clicking, but the telltale there isn't lighting up. Should be 2 green arrows there lighting up, in line with those clicks that you can hear. That's not happening. So we've traced it to the possibility of a fault in the hazard switch. Now the hazard light switch itself is actually connected to this multi-function arm down here. This does the wipers, the indicators, and the variable speed for the wipers as well, and also the windscreen washers. So that needs to come off. Now in order to take that off, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research as to how to get in here to take it all apart. And then once that's resolved and that's put right and the hazard lights work exactly the same way the indicators work with the same brightness, we can move on to the next thing. That'll be 3 of the jobs done. The only 2 things to look at in order to put right to get through an MOT is the handbrake doesn't appear to be working as well as it should be. So I'm going to have to dismantle the entire handbrake to get into it. Now on this model of Mustang, that's done from inside the car underneath the centre console. So I'm going to take the centre console out, which isn't too much of a bad thing because I've done that before in the other Mustang. Also, as well as that, at the back side of the car, on the passenger side, just behind the back wheel, apparently there's a little bit of welding that needs doing. Now, I'm not convinced that there is welding that needs doing. I'm thinking that there's something missing that should be in there. But obviously that is something we'll have to check out, otherwise I'll not get through an MOT. So we're getting there. 2 of the 5 things down. I'm going to nip indoors now and do some research on how to take this steering column attachments apart and get that arm off, so I can have a look at that and see if I can clean that up, if that's all it is on the contacts for the hazard light switch, or if I need to get a new arm, and we'll get that ordered. For now though, if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, press the like button on the way out and consider subscribing to the channel to see more stuff like this with the rest of the vehicles I've got on the channel as well. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, bye for now.